are currently at Cyberjaya, so today we'll be conducting the interview a little bit differently, like in a more different setting.
Yeah.
So we're here in Cyberjaya, we're walking the beautiful streets here.
Yeah, it's so beautiful
so
here.
early in the morning. So yeah guys, let's
So I guess
just
we're going to be doing an interview today, so
let's just get into the video.
Hi, doctor. How are you doing today?
Good, Zulaika. Thank you so much for inviting me for this interview. Really appreciate that.
Thank you for being here. It's really big honor. So today I will be interviewing you.
Right.
But before we start the interview, I have a game, right? So the game is called First Thoughts. I will give you a word, and you just have to tell the first thought that comes to your mind, like associated with the word.
Okay.
Family.
Family? Family.
Family.
Oh, family. Happy family.
All right. Friends.
Trustworthy friends.
Office.
Office?
Office.
Office, my SCP office.
Wait, what?
My MP's office.
Oh, okay. Terengganu.
Maju Berkat Sejahtera.
Okay, never mind. Moving on. Books. Yeah, books.
Historic books. Yeah.
All right. Historic books.
Yes.
Okay. Last one. Dr. Balachandran.
A simple man who believes in giving the best to the people, and that's by serving God.
You did amazing in the first game. See, you're actually really good at games.
Not really. It's just comes as you say, the thoughts.
Exactly. So next is the interview.
All right.
So I only have a few questions, just few simple questions.
Okay.
First of all right. So you are the pengawai khas for the hal ehwal agama.
Bukan Islam.
Exactly. In your opinion, what is the relationship between races these days? Is it like harmonious?
Actually, it's a very fragile relationship, very fragile.
Okay.
Very fragile in the sense that people who believe that the world was created by God and has this stamp in their forehead that it belongs to God, then when we talk about the relationship, it will be very spiritual and it is full of embracement of love. That is the relationship you're talking about. But if you're talking about currently, at the current political situation today or the current situation, it is very fragile because a lot of us don't investigate truth independently. They just hear things and then they just and again with the so-called what we call social media that basically has vested interest in creating what we call negative inputs that will actually create a situation for people to sort of what we call, that fragility can be rattled, it can be rattled with that.
All right, so I have a question. You mentioned earlier that social media is one of the negative reasons as to why the races aren't harmonious. Why is that? Why do you think social media is a negative influence towards the races?
Maybe I could have said, people who have vested interest in the social media, put it that way. Social media is a tool, it's just a tool, but people who want to create, you look at all the WhatsApp group, some, an obscure, very one kind of incident from somewhere, they'll just put it up. and blow up the whole situation when actually it is not created by anything. And when people are so excited, they're so excited that somebody must like their media. It is the whole purpose of the media has become like somebody should like your media. It's not about truth. Truth can be very bitter. People are not like truth. You see, this is what I'm talking about, the social media aspect of it. I'm not telling the tool is wrong. The tool is created for us to, what we call, share knowledge, define truth, see truth, seek truth. That is what it's all about. But when social media, people vaccinate with the social media are trying to be provocative because they want to ensure that, they want to sort of like make it very popular, then the whole purpose of the social media becomes.
I feel these days social media, it like exaggerates on everything. Like the issue might be so minor, but then it just goes in flames because of the media, social media, people sharing all that. So talking about race and religion. In Singapore, they celebrate this thing called a racial harmony day.
Yeah.
So do we have something similar in Malaysia to celebrate the diversity of our culture?
Not that I know of officially. I don't think there's an official kind of celebration to celebrate, but I think it is done among small NGOs. They created a kind of gathering, they call it Majlis Perpaduan, things like that,
But you don't think like Malaysia should have a day like that, like Singapore?
That's something that the government should really, really consider, of having harmony day, bringing about all people of all walks of life, and then sitting and talking about things.
And celebrate this one thing.
Correct. One day, one full day about understanding every each other, and it has to so much as must be emphasized on embracing love. Harmony basically is about love, because you see today the country, the world is full of hatred. So much of hatred. A lot of seeds of hatred are sowed, and the only instrument that can cease of hate is love. Nothing else.
In your opinion, what is the root cause of racism? The root cause.
You see, the root cause of racism is first prejudice, and then unfairness and injustice.
Three things.
See, poverty again involved. So when all unfairness, injustice, and what we call prejudice come about, it creates poverty. Because you don't divide your wealth. Rich become rich, poor become poor. Correct? Discrimination. Discrimination of all sorts. You don't discriminate if a person is good. For example, in a class, say there are 10 Indian students, 5 Malay students, 2 Chinese students. And if the 2 Chinese students excel, we should ensure that we recognize that too. Not because the 5 Indians are majority. It's the same way around. In a class where there are 10 Muslims, 10 Malays, 2 Chinese and 1 Indian, if the Indian is to excel, then we should recognize it. Sometimes it becomes so sad that because of they wanted to promote their race, they compromise all qualities and bring about substandard people.
Last question. Have you ever experienced racism, and how do you deal with it? And how do you suggest other people deal with it?
Actually, a lot of times we can see act of racism everywhere. Be it for a majority of Hindus, they belittle the other minority group. When there's a majority of Christians, they belittle the other group. When there's a majority of Muslims, so it is everywhere. But the question is for us. You see, when we talk about being a religious person, submission to the will of God is very important.
Yeah, I agree.
Submit to the will of God is not something that is easy. Submission to the will of God will become very much more tougher when you are discriminated, when you are not given justice, when you are treated poorly. But that is the will of God. But when you submit to the will of God, that means you leave it all to God to take care of the situation.
So yeah, that was actually the last question I have for you. I learned a lot. It was amazing. I learned so much. I'm sure our viewers also will. Before I end our interview, I have one last game since you were so brilliant at our first game.
Brilliant. Oh my God, don't say that.
So the last game is called Fast Fire.
Okay.
So basically, very simple. I'll give you two choices and you just have to pick one choice.
All right.
All right? Very simple. So first off, would you rather do something you love and make just enough money, or do something you hate but make billions of dollars?
I'll do something I love and make enough money.
Okay, wow. Would you rather work in a big city or a small town if you have the same job?
I'd rather work in a small town
Small town? Why?
because it's so peaceful and serene. You don't have no stress. You wake up. You see, when you work in a big town, you wake up 5 o'clock when you're starting work at 9. In a small town, when you start work 9, you wake up at 8:30. There's a lot. And I reach home by 4:30. I have all the time to be with the family for myself. You know,
Exactly.
because at the end of the day, it's not about the money. It's about your health, about your well-being.
Would you rather have a job where you talk to people all day, or a job where you stay at your desk by yourself all day and like do work?
I like the job where I can talk to people all day and
Talk to
solve
people.
their problems. Not just talking, but
Yeah,
talking and
just-
resolving their issues. Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
That's, I love that. I love that. Yeah.
Okay. Last question. Would you rather work in a big team or just work with one other person?
I love to work in a big team and teach them how to work as a team. Because when you work as a team, you share your burden, you share your problems, you share all your work so that as an individual, your work become very simple.
That was all for our game. Thank
Right.
you so much, Doctor, once again for being on our interview. It was
It's a-
amazing to hear your thoughts, your opinions, even on like such a heavy topic, racism. But it's obviously like really needed.
Yeah.
So guys, that was it for today's video. If you guys liked it, make sure you like it
Don't forget to subscribe.
because it's free, it doesn't cost you a dime, but it'll be really meaningful to us. And then comment down below which part was your favorite and any of your answers to any of the questions
And
and
maybe suggest any other people
videos.
we should interview.
And then yeah, share this to whoever you think that needs this video.
Yes.
Needs a little bit of love. Okay guys, so
That's
thank you
it.
so much for watching. We love you guys. Bye.